like this, like
Which,
something just
and then they cut,
exploded, and
then
then
they cut to the chef, and he's like, "Oh, arigatou gozaimasu." Okay. What about making friends in Japan?
Oh, it's difficult. Like to make like true friends with a Japanese person, it's really difficult. I think, from my perspective.
It is. It is. It's it's hard because you can never really get inside their inner circle. Like you'll always be an outsider.
Yeah.
Unless that Japanese person's been living abroad for a while and they understand Western culture and they can speak English, you can become good friends with those Japanese people. But like Japanese people who have never left the country and only speak Japanese and like live by the Japanese way, like it's hard to become good friends with them. You can become acquaintances with them. Like it's hard to become a good friend with them.
Like I have had experiences where I've been friends with someone who lived abroad, so they could speak English and they're Japanese, but they just use you to improve their English more, and then when they're done, they're like bye, and they just block you or something.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's
I don't know if
that's really happened to me. Yeah, it's really happened.
I'm sure there are people out there like that, but I don't think that's
or like you're
right?
like the token foreigner for a while, especially when you're new to somewhere. Like when I first came here, like everyone wanted to be my friend because I was like the only foreign girl around, and then like after the hype died down, like they just stopped talking to me or like stopped inviting me. Like they'd invite everyone else, all the Japanese friends, and then they just only wouldn't invite me. I'm like, oh, cheers guys.
Yeah, that definitely happens with people who haven't been abroad for sure. Like even when I first moved here, for the first 2 years, like everyone wanted to be my friend.
Yeah, that's it,
and
right.
I was popular,
the
and then once everyone got used to me, then all of a sudden it all died down.
Yeah, so that really happens.
And of course there's a pretty good foreign community, so you can make good friends with a lot of foreigners here.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of foreigners are friends with each other here.
But I also find there's a lot of cliques with the foreigners here. So like if you're not in that clique, it's really hard to like.
Yeah,
like I find it really hard to like make friendship even with foreigners here.
You're an introvert.
Yeah, that's true. Probably I don't leave my house, that might be why. But
it is. I mean, you still, even to make friends with foreigners, you still have to make an effort.
True.
I mean,
I don't go out that often.
Yeah,
if I went out drinking more, I think I'd have more friends. But I don't really want to go out drinking much these days. So.
The one downfall about becoming friends with foreigners in this country, I mean, it's great, but sometimes that doesn't last long because one of you ends up going back to your own country or moving somewhere else, and then you lose touch with them.
Yeah, actually, a lot of foreign friends I did make have all moved back to their countries. So
me
then
too.
you're the only one left behind, and you're like, ah.
So then you have to make new friends.
Wait,
and then,
where are you guys going?
Yeah, like please come back. I don't have any friends.
So that is one negative.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, unless you really go out of your way to keep in touch, which is not hard, but then, you know, they might live on the other side of the world. It's hard to really catch up with them every now and then, you know?
So, like, in my case as well, finding, like, a partner is impossible. Like, you guys are both married, right? Or with relationships, so...
In a relationship.
Yeah. So, how did you guys, like, meet? Was it easy, or...? Was it difficult to find someone, or...?
Again, like, my partner is, you know, very open to foreign things, like foreign culture. Like, her sister's husband is from Holland, like, and her family's been exposed to Westerners, you know, since my partner's sister was 16. So the whole family's very open to foreigners, right? So no problems for me.
No problem for me. They were just open. I met her when I was in America, so that she was already into the culture of music and arts and all that stuff. So that
we had a lot in common.
We had a lot in common in that part. So
I mean,
that's important.
I've heard horror stories that a foreigner and a Japanese girl will get together, and then the Japanese girl's family really disapproves of the foreigner.
That's what I would.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Cuts you off, and then you have to break up.
Oh man.
Yeah, that sucks. Like, I feel like, just in my opinion, it's a lot easier for foreign guys to be with Japanese women than it is for foreign girls to be with Japanese men. I feel
definitely.
like a lot of Japanese men don't want to date foreign women because we're too like opinionated or something. Yeah, so it's really hard to find a
the
good
traditional
guy.
views of a relationship in Japan is you get married and it's more like a business agreement. It's not really a marriage for love. The woman stays home, takes care of the kids, cooks all the meal, cleans the house. The guy goes to work all day, comes home, eats his dinner, sleeps, does it all again the next day. Like that's the general business agreement, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
The middle life.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost traditional, like old-fashioned here. Like, like the women are expected to make the bento and everything. Like, I don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning and make a bento.
The family life.
Yeah.
That's what it's. The middle class family life.
Yeah, that's it.
The turn of the century, it's like how it was in the 50s and in the 60s
Yeah, it's
in
really
America.
like the 50s. That's what it feels like.
And that, to me, that tradition has, to me, stuck here and stayed.
Yeah, well,
And it's just going and going all the way into now.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the mindset of the mindset of people here, well, a lot of them, not so much the younger people, but definitely the older generation, is still from, the 50s.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
mindset.
That's the 50s
So old-fashioned.
And the thing is, they push, because the country's controlled by the older generation, they then push it onto the younger generation when it's really blowing and I can see it's peaking. Yeah, and then they push it onto the younger generation who then think, okay, this is how it's supposed to be, and then they push it onto their younger, and
So
it just keeps going and going and going.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah. They just need some younger people in this country to start standing up and go, hang on, I want to do it this way.
Exactly. I feel
But
like
they don't do it.
I feel like it will happen eventually.
Yeah,
like with how how times are changing now, it's changing a lot, right? I feel like it will eventually change. Well, I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
So
Let's
move on
to another topic. So, okay, what about the convenience of Japan and driving and like public transport, things like that? Well, you don't drive, do you?
I don't drive.
Spy and I drive.
But I use public transport a lot, so can talk about that.
Very convenient.
It is.
I mean, I've travelled to many countries in the world, and I've got to say the public transport system in Japan is probably the best.
Yeah, the
It's
subway
clean,
is for sure.
efficient.
Yeah.
It's clean,
The
it's
tube,
efficient,
I'd
never
say,
late. You can travel all over the country on all the trains here.
Yeah.
And you'll get to where you're going.
On time.
On time.
Yeah.
Yeah, although the buses are not, as always, on time.
Yeah, the buses.
I take the bus twice a week.
They have to
They
deal
do
with
the traffic.
and
Yeah.
all that.
Really?
That's true. But sometimes it's like, can be up to like 20 minutes late. It sucks, so. But the trains are great.
Yeah, and one bonus about Fukuoka compared to other Japanese cities is the airport is literally 15 minutes by subway away from the center of Fukuoka.
Yeah, it's really easy to get to the
Yeah.
airport. So
Yeah.
that's really convenient.
Yeah, unlike, say, for example, the airport in Narita in Tokyo, it takes an hour to get to the airport on train.
Yeah.
Or even Kansai Airport in Osaka, again about the same.
Yeah, so we're lucky here in Fukuoka, actually.
Now, in terms of driving in Japan, I think driving in Japan also is very good.
Yeah,
And
in
convenient.
Fukuoka?
Well, I mean, all over Japan.
All over, I think.
Like, they've got the whole highway system that links all of Japan. Like, I've driven all the way to Hokkaido several times. And you don't even have to leave the highway. Well, actually, I lie. You don't have to leave the highway until you get to Aomori, which is the top of Honshu. Then you have to jump on a ferry to get to Hokkaido. But within Honshu and Kyushu, like, you can drive non-stop throughout. They've got a whole interlinked highway system. The only thing I don't like is it's all tolled. So you have to pay to use it. And you're back home, the highways are free, but in Japan you have to pay.
You have to pay.
But, and then, and every, I don't know.
I like the convenience of you can pull off and you can get something to eat.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Every
Use the
10
bathroom.
kilometers or so, they've got a parking area or a service area. And there they have, the bathroom, they have vending machines, and the
Yeah.
bigger ones, they have cafes and restaurants and
That's good.
omiyage.
They don't have in America at all.
Yeah.
Really?
So you literally
You
don't
gotta
have to
get
get
off.
off the highway.
You're gonna
Just stay
eat,
on
you gotta get off. You're gonna use the restroom, you gotta get off.
Yeah.
Wow, that
They don't-
sucks.
And
Yeah, they don't
some of
have-
the even bigger ones, like I've stayed at one, they have a hotel there, so you literally don't have to get off the highway. You stay on, you go to the service area, you book a night at the hotel, you sleep there. We've got-
Continue.
yeah, and then you continue on
keep
without. Because the thing is, if you get off the highway, you pay to get on, then you pay to get off, and if you want to get back on, you have to pay again, and it costs extra. Whereas if you stay on, it's actually more cost effective.
It's interesting. So I feel like in England we do have quite a few service stations, but
Mosquito.
they're always going
Got
for
him.
me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm allergic, so that's why. Try to get rid of them. Okay, just checking there's no more.
No?
Lest I end up with a swollen something or other. The bugs! I can't wait for it to get cool again. Okay.
Should we move on to
Yes,
another?
next.
Okay. What about cultural doings, cultural things? Anything about the Japanese culture that you love or kind of don't like?
I don't have any don't likes, but culture-wise, wow, to me, just everything different compared to where I'm from in America. They really embrace their culture traditions as, you know, no matter what it is, you know, for the seasons, if they go to grave sites or they go to shrines or temples, it's like total slash east and west what they do. And from where I'm from in America, everything's all mixed cultures,
Yeah,
people.
a lot of
and
Western countries are multicultural these days.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
talking about the point
it's
before.
more interesting.
Japan's more homogenous, right?
Yeah,
it's one culture, one race kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more interesting to observe and watch and see, like we see on documents and films.
It's cool that they keep all the ancient kind of stuff alive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
in England, we don't really have anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's not nothing really like that
Yeah.
in America. You have to specifically go. It's not like
Find some
that.
historical place
Yeah,
or something.
there's
Yeah, here it's
nothing like
everywhere. Like even in cities, you'll find like a tucked away little shrine. Like it's kind of nice.
But I also
yeah.
like all the cultural festivals they have, you know, like Yamakasa.
Yeah, the
or
festivals
They
are
have
fun.
fireworks and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And every little city has their own little festival. Seriously, everywhere you go, town, city, they have a
City.
festival.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're all different,
yeah.
Yeah.
uniquely to that
Yeah, it's cool.
place. Yeah.
And what was I gonna say?
I don't know. Something about. No, it's gone from me
Okay,
as well.
well, I'm gonna have to say one thing I don't like about the culture here. It might be more of a societal expectation, but it's basically become a culture. Is the omiyagi culture, the
Miyagi.
souvenir
Yeah.
culture. The pressure that is put on you if you decide to go on holiday somewhere, just within Japan, and you leave your company, there is pressure on you to get a omiyagi or souvenir and give it to your co-workers to say, sorry, I made you guys work while I was on holiday. And then you're also expected to buy omiyagi for your family and your friends and everyone.
It gets expensive,
It
right?
gets expensive,
Yeah.
and you spend a lot of your time on holiday looking at omiyagi, and it's all the same stuff: snacks, cakes,
Yeah, it's
all
always
the same.
thing.
All
No
in
matter where you go.
boxes, uniquely wrapped and everything.
Yep. And honestly, I think it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's like the souvenir culture in England is like, if you get something for someone, it's like a nice surprise. Like, oh, thanks, I wasn't
Exactly,
expecting
it's
it.
not
But if you're
expected.
forced to do it, it feels like it's not really special anymore, you know?
Like, it's almost
You're
expected of you.
Yeah.
As a foreigner, you can get away with not getting omiyagi.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, no, I'm not getting omiyagi. Why should I? Kind of thing. That's just the way of
Yeah.
I don't really care if they get annoyed.
You
Yeah.
didn't buy me a present.
You know,
Really?
I'll get omiyagi for, you know, maybe like a family member.
Yeah. Or
But-
like, I don't know, best friend or something
Yeah.
maybe.
Like if
But
I go
not for
somewhere
every
unique.
single person.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, if I go somewhere unique where there's something special there that's not available
Yeah.
anywhere else, I'll buy that for a family friend
Yeah.
or a friend. But you know, if I just go to say, I don't know, Kitakyushu, which is up the road, and stay there for a night, like you're almost expected to bring an omiyagi back. It's Kitakyushu. It's still
Yeah,
Fukuoka.
that's it. Like, what are you going to buy
Just
that
for
you can't get here?
example. Yeah, right.
It's a
Yeah.
big market. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in that.
That's it.
And that's what helps probably drive this economy.
Like, I do have
Gifts.
another thing I don't like as well.
What's that?
Like, I did briefly mention it earlier.
What's that, Emily?
The tatemae culture.
Ah,
the
yeah.
fake compliment. I hate
Yes.
it. Like, if I get a
The fake
compliment, like, I know they're just saying it to be nice, to come across as a nice
Yep.
person. It's so like,
It's fake nice.
yeah, like I've been in situations like in karaoke where someone who's tone deaf sings and everyone's like, wow, you're so amazing, oh my god, like you could be professional. It's like, no, they're terrible, like what are you doing?
Like what?
You don't have to tell them they're terrible, but just like don't overpraise somebody who's not good. Like it gives them a false, you know.
Well, that reminds me now
sense
when the amount of times you get it. Oh, your Japanese is so good. Nihongo joju.
Like you only have to say hello, and like they'll be like, oh my god, so good.
Oh,
like,
you're so good at using chopsticks.
Yeah, like,
I got that when I came here.
Oh, same here. Like,
These chopsticks really good.
you know when like, you know when your Japanese friends have accepted you, like when they stop giving you those fake compliments.
Or like, oh, you're so cool because you're a foreigner. Kakoi,
Kakoi,
cool.
Kawaii.
Walking down the
as a
street
girl,
and you hear
yeah.
him saying that is like, what's so cool about me? I'm walking past you.
Like,
honestly, when I first came here and the girls were saying to me, oh, kakoi, I was like, oh, yeah, thank you.
yeah.
And then not 5 minutes later, the same girl said to a guy, another foreign guy who I thought was not even cool, oh, kakoi. I was like, oh, okay.
They're just saying
and then from then onwards, I just ignore it.
Yeah, like even when I used to go to the bars and stuff, like I thought the bar people have like genuinely being really nice to me. I was like, oh, that's so nice. They're saying like, oh, you're so cute, and I thought, oh, they're being really nice. And then not long after, they were saying exactly the same compliments to the next group. So I was like, oh, okay, they don't actually mean it.
It's only to foreigners.
No, they do it to other Japanese people as well. It's like some of them are paid to be like that. Like they're paid because if they're nice, more customers want to come in more.
I can understand it as
they
a
think,
business
oh,
thing,
these people like you. So
the worst is the Japanese TV because all that's the same kind of stuff. When they have to say oishi or umai,
so
they all
everything
say
they
it's
eat.
all good. I used to think that. I wonder what they really think.
no, you can tell
When
it's
they get
fake.
off camera.
Like it's their like the reaction is too over the top. They'll take like a tiny bite, like this, like something just
and then they
exploded
cut to the chef and he's like, oh,
Yeah, I did very good. Yes.
Yes.
Like man, you know all that food you're making ain't that good.
So just topping on that, another cultural, you made me think of another cultural thing that I'm not a big fan of, and that is omotanashi, which is, how do you explain omotanashi in English? Like,
I don't think there's a translation for it, is there?
well, basically, like, in a nutshell, if you work in the service industry, you have to do omotanashi, which basically means the customer is God.
Yeah.
So you have to do...
I mean, we do have the customer's always right, but it's different. It's like at a different level than that, though, isn't it?
The problem in Japan is a lot of
They put them on a
customers take
pedestal.
advantage of it
America
and treat you like shit because, especially in the bar world, they treat you like shit because you have to be omotanashi for them.
Yeah.
It's basically just, providing a good experience and a service for the customers, but it's kind of over the top.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the bar stuff, right?
Yeah.
They have to like compliment everybody, like
it's all
to make them want to
omotanashi.
come back.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like
Laugh
it.
at their jokes, smile, talk to them. Like when I worked in a bar where omotanashi was a big thing, like I'd be told, go talk to those customers. You have to. I'm like, I don't want to talk to them. I have no interest. But
I've been in that
had
situation. Yeah.
to. And you run over and you have to talk to them and make up stories, and you have to laugh at their stories, even if whatever they're talking about is so boring.
You get forced to like drink with them.
Yeah,
when
you
you
have
don't
to drink
want
with
to.
them.
Yeah.
Not in America, and they'll tell you. They're like,
But it's not just in the
you
bar
bad?
world.
Get out.
Every business that offers a service, they always do omotanashi for you. And yeah, if you're on the receiving end, it's nice, but again, it's got a bit of fake.
I don't like
fake,
it.
Yeah, it's a bit fake.
I can tell it's not a real compliment, so I feel like they're being sarcastic and mean the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like looking at you going, wow, you're so cool. It's like,
it's the dry saying.
yeah, you say that because I'm not cool. I'm onto you. It's like, no, I don't like it.
Only in America, maybe in a certain upper class, depending where you go. Like, if it's a big party, somebody threw, and then they have a lot of catering and stuff like that. They would do that there, but people would pick up on it if it's a real compliment or if it's not.
Like,
right
I can
off
always
the bat,
tell as well. I can tell when they're just bullshitting, like.
It's not just like it's just that way. You have to do it. You have to do it. No.
Japan does have great service in this, like whether it's at a
service is
restaurant
great.
or everything. And all that stems from omotanashi, right? Because the staff really go out of their way to provide good service for you. But that's the thing, it's an expectation of them.
Yeah, it's not because they're doing it because they want to.
Yeah, exactly. It's expected of them.
Not the kindness
And,
of their heart or anything.
like I said, on the receiving end, depending on, like, if you go to the hairdresser, for example, you're going to get omotanashi service.
Yeah.
And it's nice. But, yeah, it's just, there's a certain fakeness to it sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, in America, if you go to a bar doing that, they'd be like,
get out of here.
this is not, you don't do that there. Here, you pick up on it. Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Americans don't do that. It's like, it's not gonna
just
work.
fake compliments. It's the worst. Like, if you really want to compliment someone, then it gets mixed up between all these fake ones.
Right, you can get fired.
So you never know. Like,
acting like that in America.
Yeah.
They'll fire you.
But yeah, it's not just about the compliments though. Yeah, it's about just them providing the service. They run around for you.
But also, like, when you get the fake compliments, you're expected to, like, you can never just say thank you to it, because it sounds weird in Japanese if you say, like, oh, thanks. You have to say, like, oh, not at all, no.
Yeah, you have to be...
You know, like...
It would be a
What's
turn
the word?
off
You
if
have to
somebody
be-
did that.
Like, really modest.
Modest,
Yeah.
what's Standard? So my Japanese sensei always told me, like, if someone says to you, oh, your Japanese is so good, don't be like, oh, thank you. Be like, oh, no. She said, use mada, which is not yet.
It's not good enough yet.
But these days, as a joke, I always say, oh, yeah, I know. Just as a joke. And they laugh, of course. And I say, nah, just joking. Mada.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Like in England, if someone gives you a compliment, it's usually like a legit compliment. Then you go, oh, thanks, you know.
Yeah, because you don't get them all the time.
You don't get them all the time.
It's genuine.
You don't get that.
Although I feel like in like Western culture, there is kind of like, you have to kind of say one back to the person as well. Otherwise it seems a bit rude.
Yeah.
So like, then we'll go, oh, I like your hair. Oh, thanks. Oh yeah, I love your shoes too, or something, you know, like, seems kind of stuck up, you just accept it, and then, so honestly, I don't like getting compliments because I feel awkward.
Yeah,
I never know how to react to compliments.
I don't care for much either, unless I did something amazing.
Yeah,
then that's okay.
like, I just don't know how to react, you know, like, say thanks, so you don't want to sound stuck up. So like, I remember I sang in England, this is ages ago, and I suddenly, after getting off stage with my sister, like, people were giving us compliments, and someone said, oh, you're a really good singer, and I was like, oh, thanks, so are you. Oh, shit, why did I say that? Like, I just automatically said something stupid, you know, like, awkward.
Like, you're the one that's on the stage, not us, and we're listening to you.
Like, why did I say that? Stupid.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more topic.
Okay, yeah, before it starts pouring down.
Yeah.
Typhoons are coming.
Yeah,
we're gonna get blown
gotta
away.
have typhoon, Thai food, right? Typhoon, Thai food.
There you go.
Okay, we got one last topic to talk about, and that is, you know, in Japan's a very spiritual country. You know, they believe in ghosts and legends and demons and all that. So the last topic is, what's that noise? Oh, it's a bike.
It's a bike.
Anyway, sorry. Have any of you had any ghostly experiences or heard about legends or mythology in Japan? Share your thoughts, please.
I've had a few strange things happen here. So one of them is like the very first English school I worked in here. So it was like an English conversation school. So I used to finish quite late, usually like 11 or half 10ish in the evening. And one of the nights, so it's always just me in the school. I used to lock up when I went to turn the lights off and go. And on one of the nights, so just as I was going to turn off the lights, like a man's voice was just in my ear and it said hello like this. I was like, what the so like I was like pegged it out of there, like locked the door, and I was like, what in the fuck was, like, there was no one in there. It was like a tiny little school.
Did he say hello? Or
he said hello in English. So I was like, that's weird. Like, that's what I thought about after, like, if it was a ghost, like, wouldn't it say it in Japanese?
He's been studying English during your class. Oh, free lessons.
It's like
shut up, bastard. Getting free lessons.
Ego muncher ghost. So that's the thing that was confusing me the most. I was like, why would it say it in English? So that's one of them. In my last flat, I had another weird experience. So I have like a music box, like a Ghibli music box. And it is a wind-up one, but it does have an on and off switch as well. And so just in the middle of the night, my music box started playing. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that? So I went over to it and then picked it up to flip it off, thinking that's a bit, I mean, I haven't played it for like 2 years, bearing in mind. And it was already in the off position, so I was like, that's a bit weird. I don't know what would have triggered that. And so I don't know how it would play in the off position, but that's another weird thing. I've had lots of little random things happen. I've had more happen in England, but in Japan it's like the odd, like, mischievous thing here and there. Like in my school as well, my other school, I've had some other stuff happen, like stuff moved, like something was it in my bag. I got home and it was in my bag, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't put it there. The kids didn't put it there. Like,
easy on the F word, please.
So it's a bit odd, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of famous haunted spots in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
the most famous one near us is probably the tunnel. It's near Izuka in the mountains.
yeah.
It's called
What's it called again?
Inunaki Tunnel,
Inunaki Tunnel.
which is apparently haunted, and it's all blocked off now. You're not allowed to go in there. And people still climb over and go in there to, you know, check it out if it's real. And you know, people always say once they leave, they're always cursed, and something happens to them later, and they die or something. But
Right,
yeah.
so let's go, guys.
But yeah, I mean, Japan's full of haunted spots, right? Because Japan's a very spiritual country.
I mean, there's loads of like stories, but I feel like we could do a whole video on that, like a whole separate video, like on the legends and like famous ghosts,
Yeah.
but like just the local ones, you know.
Yeah. One experience I've had is similar to kanashibari, which is like sleep paralysis, but I don't know if it was sleep paralysis or something more sinister, because when I tell some Japanese friends, they're like, oh, that wasn't kanashibari, that was something else. That's
Big more sinister.
yeah, so basically when I was living in my old house in Sakurazaka, at the time there was a bit of bad energy going around because of my situation at the time. I won't get into it, but anyway, I was asleep and I was in the middle of a dream, and all of a sudden it was like someone pushed the pause button on my dream. It just paused, and then it got really cold all of a sudden. And then it felt like something or someone was pushing my neck and pushing my head forward, and I couldn't move, and it was just pushing. And it felt like it was really angry at me. And it lasted about a minute, and then it just stopped, and then the cold temperature went back up and it was warm again, and then my dream just resumed again, but I woke up because I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, that is.
So
that doesn't sound like sleep paralysis to me.
it was weird. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was an angry spirit at me, or I
It
don't
sounds
know.
like it. Like it was pushing your head and it went cold. Like it sounds.
Yeah, like it was cold. I had to pull things. It was the middle of summer too.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
It was
like.
weird.
Like I've had sleep paralysis and it was nothing like that.
That's supernatural stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like sleep paralysis usually like you're awake, like you can see like your room and you see what's going on, but you can't move. Your body's like paralyzed, and then you feel like something creepy and dark, like sitting on you or something. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, see, I wasn't awake. Like, I was fast asleep and my dream paused, which kind of made me semi-awake, and then I felt this. But I wasn't fully awake, but I was semi-awake, and then I woke up. It was weird.
Yeah, that is
It
weird.
was really weird.
Yeah, there are like strange little happenings that go on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it just sounds silly, right? But in one of my schools, so this is the one where something went in my bag as well. It's the same place. Like my boss has like a doll, like a Barbie doll, right? And it's on the very top shelf. It's like kind of like not a kid's doll, but like more of a model kind of one, you know. And like while she was there, like the arm just like went. The arm just moved on its own. Yeah, isn't that really weird? Yeah, and like we've had like weird stuff happen in that school when both of us have been there. Like I put something on the table, we were doing like a craft thing in the evening, just me and her. And then I went to use it and it was gone. I was like, what the hell? Like literally cleared everything off the table, looked under the table, there was nothing on the floor. I'm like, that's really weird, where the hell did it go? I just had it right there. And then I used something different instead. And then at the end of the night, it was exactly where I'd put it on the table. It was back. So I was like, what in the hell? Like, it was not there. Like, I literally took everything off the table. It was so strange.
Actually, last night, in the bedroom, the wardrobe light was on.
Oh, just randomly turned on?
Yeah, and I was like, that's strange. Why is it on? No, I didn't see it turn on. I went into the room and it was switched on. So I opened the door and it was on. So I turned it off and I asked my partner, oh, did you turn on the wardrobe light and go in there and forget to turn off? She's like, no. That's weird. What's that? It's scary. I didn't go near it. I didn't touch it. Like
you had something else with was it with your games console as well, right?
Yeah, actually I think my PlayStation's just broken.
Oh, okay.
But I did have another experience when I was in the bathroom once. It sounded like someone or something was scratching on the door.
Oh, that's creepy.
And then I opened it and no one was there. And this was like at about 2 or 3 in the morning, so everyone was asleep already.
That's always fun. Scratching.
And actually that was around the same time that the PlayStation started playing up.
Oh, it's like,
Oh, wait, it was coming.
could be something.
It's coming on?
There's probably a lot of skeptics watching now, like, yeah, I don't think so, but it's true.
My partner's very very sensitive to that stuff. And
me too, actually.
so anywhere we go that's kind of got potential paranormal activity. She's like, I don't want to go near that place. I don't want to bring anything home.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried about like spirits attaching to them.
Yeah, see what she tells me is that because I'm a nice guy, I'm an easy target for a spirit to latch onto.
Yeah, actually, where I used to live, there was like a little shrine next to it, and I wanted to go there at night just because it looked cool for photos, right? Because it had loads of like the little, you know, the little statues. What are they called? That have the red hats on.
Oh yeah. I don't know what they're called, but they're spooky.
Yeah, and I wanted to take a picture at night. I thought it looked cool, but my sister-in-law was like, no, you can't go in there at night. I'm like, why? She's like, because the spirit will attach to you. If you go in there at night, the spirit will attach to you. I'm like, it will.
Where's that? What was it?
This was in Kashi. So I used to live right next to it. It was like a small, it was dedicated towards children, like children's well-being or something. So
I went for a night drive up to the mountain in Sasaguri, and there's a view spot up there, but the road up there is spooky as hell. Like there's all these little shrines like that with those little statues along the road.
I just love looking at them, they're cool.
Yeah, and when we were driving up there,
like that before. I can't remember where. Those little
everywhere. And my
somewhere.
partner, when we were driving up, she's like, this road is spooky, and she's like, oh, I think someone's in the back, and like constantly
Oh my
reacting.
god, that freaked me out.
And she was like, I'm not coming back to this road again.
Wait, didn't we go past that road before? And I was like, I felt something strange as well. And you were like, I think you said like, this is where she had been with the other. We went somewhere.
That was probably another place.
A different place. Yeah. How about you, Spy? Have you had any strange things happen?
Here, no, not like that. Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't know. I just.
Maybe you just don't attract that stuff, which is a good thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff, but just like hard to explain.
Yeah.
Not really. Being here, no.
Yeah.
In America.
Sorry about that. The memory card ran out, so I had to quickly change it. So continue on what we were talking about.
So Spy, you were saying nothing especially, right?
Yeah. Really.
Nothing especially.
Nothing especially. Nothing.
Especially nothing, you know.
Yeah.
No, not yet. I have not seen any weird, crazy stuff that.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Maybe you're just kind of blocked off to it, because it's, you know, if you're not sensitive, you're not necessarily going to experience it.
Well, I'm aware of what's going on, but it's just that.
I mean, I'm not very sensitive to like supernatural, spiritual stuff either, paranormal stuff.
I am.
But I occasionally experience stuff.
Like. Oh yeah, good.
Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, this isn't about ghosts. But, I mean, a lot of people don't believe me when I say it, but I have seen a UFO here. And it was right near where I lived. I was waiting to cross, I was waiting to cross the zebra crossing, and I was waiting. And then I just saw it, like, in the sky, and it was, like, green. And it was, like, a circle, and I was like, what the f is that? Like, this is, like, not a big city area. Kami-sama. So, the weird thing was, there was, like, other people at the traffic lights, but no one else seemed to notice it, except for me. So I was like, anyone else? it's like moving around. It was bright green, and I'm like, what the heck is that? But no one else seemed to notice it except for me, so it was really weird.
Actually, the other night, not a UFO, but I just happened to walk onto the balcony, and at that exact moment, I saw a meteor.
Really?
Or something. It was like falling out of the sky, and it was falling apart, and then just disappeared.
Oh, that's good timing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like literally, it was about 7 o'clock at night, so it was just dark enough. Walked out, and just across the sky.
Like, oh, nice. Good timing. Have you guys ever seen a UFO?
No.
Never?
No, never seen one.
I seen one when I was in Tunisia, when I was younger. This was like next level, like, most people don't believe me, but I was not alone at the time. I was with someone else, so there was someone else that saw it. And I was sat in like a hotel play park. So this is like in like a hotel resort kind of thing. And it just came down. I heard this like a weird noise, like a whirring noise, and then it came down, and it was like moving like this, and then it went side to side. And we were like, UFO! And we were sitting on top of a slide, and we ran like to get everybody like, this is massive UFO, like it's right there, like, and then it just went whoop, and it went up. Like, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and it came really close. Like, I could see it. I could see the colours. It was like colourful all the way along the bottom. It was the weirdest thing. It wasn't like a plane. It wasn't a balloon thing. Like, it was making like weird mechanical sounds, like a whirring sound. And yeah, I've never forgotten about it. And then recently I saw a YouTube video where it was talking about somewhere in Africa, I can't remember where, but a whole school of kids saw a UFO pass over. And the way they described it was exactly like what I saw when I was in Tunisia. So it was really weird. So I don't know if anyone else believes in UFOs, but like, you know, it is an unidentified flying object, so I'm not saying...
Noise?
What noise?
There was a noise, it's like a click noise right behind me.
Oh, we're all going to get killed.
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it. I was too busy talking about UFOs.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Right, now it's becoming a spooky video. It's probably some kind of weird animal about to attack us or something.
Okay, one last question, or statement, whatever. That's got nothing to do with spiritual thing, but I just want to get your guys' opinions. What do you think, for anyone wanting to come to Japan in the future to live, the importance of being able to speak Japanese in Japan? What's your opinion?
It depends, like, you can definitely live here without knowing much Japanese, but I was going to say, but if you want to make, like, friends and really, like, get into the culture more, you really need to learn some, at least, I think. Or if you want to get a job with a company and not teach English, you really have to have a better level.
I'll jump onto that. I think, I also agree, like, it's not absolutely do or die. Like, you can get by with just English or a little bit of Japanese, especially if you're living in Tokyo or even Osaka. But when you're out in the smaller cities like Fukuoka or other ones, like, English is much more less spoken.
Yeah.
However, if you want to experience the culture or get more out of your experience in Japan, or have more job opportunities and make friends, it's better to speak Japanese or learn Japanese, and the more fluent you are, the more doors open for you, definitely.
Yeah.
And I also think that if you're going to live abroad and you don't learn the language, I think it's kind of moppainai. It's kind of it's kind of dampening your experience. You know, who you don't want to go back to your own country and be like, oh, you lived in Japan for 10 years, and like, oh, so you can speak Japanese? No. I mean, do you want to be that guy? Sorry, Spy. It just depends.
Spy right now.
It just depends on your own personal, personal thing. Personally, I think that way, but other people might think otherwise.
I think like living-wise, your life is a lot easier if you speak Japanese, especially like if you live by yourself.
Yes.
So like for me, I live by myself. So if I didn't speak any Japanese, like I would be screwed probably. Like it's a lot of stuff I've got to do. Like when I pay rent or when I have to go to the post office or a doctor and dentist and stuff like that. I don't have anyone that will do it for me, so I have to do it by myself.
You want to chime in on this, Spy? Since you're on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I know.
But you don't have to use it, right?
Yeah. It really depends what you're doing and what you plan to do in Japan.
Yeah, to me it's more if you're hardcore into the culture, then you want to know. I think it's I know what people are saying. I can speak it, but not fluently. And a lot of people want to speak more English towards me than Japanese. So it's like, I'll try to answer them in Japanese. They're talking to me in English.
So you're like, well, okay then.
But
it
like I said, it really depends on what you come here for and what you want to do and what experiences you want to have.
Yeah.
Like for Spy and I, like we're freelancers, so we don't really have to use Japanese that often.
Yeah.
However, for me, because I work with the TV a lot, I do have to speak Japanese.
Yeah.
And also when I was working in the bars managing them, I had to speak Japanese with clients and with, like the alcohol companies. And you have to know Japanese, and that's where I learned a lot of my Japanese actually. But I mean, if you're just freelancing like us, like making music, you don't need to.
Also, it helps having like a partner who can speak Japanese, of course, right?
They can help you with
They can help you do all the annoying stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a good thing though, Lucky. I wish I had someone that would do that stuff for me. My God.
On a personal note, like I just love learning languages, so that's why I took
it's
to learn
interesting.
Japanese. And before I came to Japan, I could speak Spanish fluent, well, pretty fluent, because I
Really?
lived in Spain, which I've forgotten now. But
I used to speak French at school, but that's as far as I went before
I learned
started
French as well.
Japanese. Yeah.
I just always wanted to speak
Just
another
like
language.
languages.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
my
languages.
family is like my family loves languages. So my dad and mom can both speak different languages as well.
Yeah,
Like my brother.
I definitely think it's a good skill to learn, like, because most of the world population don't learn another language.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. A lot of people in England, not to be mean,
well,
like,
especially
we
English
just don't
speaking
see it
countries. I
necessary.
mean,
Yeah, because
Even in New
everywhere
Zealand.
speaks English. So
Even in New Zealand, like a lot of
Yeah.
people don't speak another language, and you know, even when I was young and I couldn't speak another language yet, and you'd see someone
I
speak
thought it was
another
cool.
language, you'd be like, "Whoa, man, I wish
wanna
I
do
could speak
that.
another
Yeah,
language."
yeah, yeah. That's
And
what I
you
felt
just
like
can't
too.
even comprehend it
So I always wanted to learn Japanese just because I was so into like.
because you're an otaku.
I'm an otaku, sorry, yeah. I like anime and dramas and Japanese music. So I started learning Japanese songs before I learned any Japanese, so that helped a lot with pronunciation. And now, yeah, I love karaoke here, so.
It's weird too when you speak, like for example, when I speak with my family and you chuck in little Japanese words.
Yeah, like you do it by accident, right?
Yeah, you forget that they don't know what they mean because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
becomes normal, right?
See, the thing is, I can talk to my brother Joel, right? Because he's fluent in Japanese, basically, and so like I could throw those things out to him, and like he gets it right. So
Yeah,
I
it's
just get
normal.
used to that. But when I talk to my family on Zoom, like I'll suddenly say like a random Japanese word, and just thinking they'll understand it. Because sometimes words are just faster to say in Japanese.
Right.
You know.
It's weird. Like I always think I can't even imagine or comprehend like not being able to speak another language. Like I can't imagine 20 years ago when I couldn't. So it just seems so normal and natural now. It
You
feels
just kind of
weird.
switch between like modes, right? But like always, I know I can be better than I am, and I want to improve still.
Oh, I think even Japanese people can improve.
Yeah.
It's
difficult language, The kanji is my downfall.
Yeah, I don't think Japanese is a hard language to learn to converse, to speak and listen.
But writing.
But reading and writing, definitely very, very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
Kanji
The
is
reading
next
and the writing.
level.
Yeah, you have to go to school to learn it. You can't just learn it by picking it up. But speaking it, you can definitely learn it just by
you can pick it up.
being immersed in the Japanese culture.
But that's how I learned most of my Japanese. It's not by studying, because my brain just switches off after 5 minutes of studying. Like, I'll be honest. Like I've really tried. I've tried, but I just can't focus that long. Unless I go into like hyper focus mode and study randomly for 5 hours. But for the next 3 weeks, I won't do anything. So the best way for me to pick it up is by listening. So first my listening improved a lot, and then my speaking improved from listening. Yeah. So.
And if you do learn Japanese or any other language, the best thing you can do to really improve is to apply. Like once you learn it, then you go out there and use it.
Even if you make a mistake. And that was my problem at first. I was too embarrassed about making mistakes that I would be scared to talk to people. And then I realized, like, if I do that, I'm never gonna get better. I've got to make the mistakes to remember.
You know what they say? Use it or lose it.
That's it.
Just like my Spanish, I haven't used it for 10 years, so I've lost it.
Same with French. I barely remember anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is important to try. Even if you make a mistake, like, if they can kind of understand what you're saying, it's okay, Ooh, it's good. It's a butterfly, right? So.
Anyway, I think we're going to have to end the conversation there.
The birds are fleeing from the typhoon, so...
I think the typhoon's starting to rain a bit.
Yeah.
And we've been talking for over an hour.
We don't make any more videos, we've been blown away.
But
okay, touch wood, I don't want to jinx.
I hope you enjoyed a little bit of insight into our lives in Japan and what our thoughts are about Japan.
And enjoyed our rant.
Our rants, our complaining.
Sorry, it's mostly complaining, I think.
Yeah.
But it's good to see both sides of Japan, isn't it? Like that. If someone visited here, they wouldn't know all of that stuff,
I mean, there are videos like this all over YouTube, but we thought we'd do one too.
Yeah.
Since we haven't been able to finish the other one yet, but we will get around to it. So stay tuned. That our next video is coming soon.
Yeah.
And please like and subscribe. And someone's calling me.
And that will be a wrap of the news.
Yeah. So, see you soon. Bye bye.